Okay, let's get another. We have more, right?
One more. Okay, when we do spiritual practices like meditation, for example, are we making new neural net connections in the brain that will help us eventually be able to be in a meditative state more often and more easily? Is this a good thing towards awakening?
What we do. Yes, when we're. I mean, the whole idea of the mind is to make neural net connections, and those neural net connections then create concepts and templates, and that's absolutely essential in our life. And if you meditate and spend a lot of time in meditation with closed eyes, yes, you will form eventually a new template that will be very peaceful when you access it. And the template might be called meditation. Meditation, and then as soon as you access that, you get into a quiet place of meditation. It is, however, it's not awakening. It's a quiet place in the mind is wonderful, but it's not the kind of peace that we are looking for. We're looking for totally transcending the mind. We're not looking for a neural net connection in the mind. And it's absolutely wonderful to have a meditative space. You might have some mantra, or you put your tongue up and your eyes up and close your eyes and whatever else, and it's nice. You might have some nice music, some incense. In the corner of your house, you might have pictures of gurus and stuff like that. It's nice. It's nice. It's a ceremony that you can do by yourself, for yourself, or with other people. And there's nothing wrong with it. But the problem that I found is that I find it quite hard to those people to explain that the peace we're looking for is beyond the mind. There's no neural net connections. There's no obstacle of any kind in that kind of a peace. It's the peace where the base of this peace is a ratio, the golden ratio. It's a ratio-based reality. So in a ratio-based reality, the neural net connections really will not make any difference. Usually the example I use is that just imagine we have a barn and it's full of, how you call it?
Filth?
No, it's a barn. It's full of animal crap and things like that. And we can take a shovel and shovel it on the side and make a nice clear space in the barn, and that will be a nice wonderful clear space. But we're still in the barn, and there is still trash and shit all over the place. And thinking that in order for us to get to awakening, we have to clean up the whole barn. So we create more and more space, and we shovel more things on the side, and eventually we'll have hopefully a clear barn, and all the crap is around the edges. And not realizing that we think it's awakening because it's a bigger space of nothing, but we're still in the mind. And so a bigger cleaned space in the barn or in the mind is not awakening. And let's say that you have a barn that's full of shit, but you realize by the grace of God or something that all you have to do is step out of the barn. So it saves you a lot of effort, time in clearing up stuff inside the barn, buying all those tools, getting used to the smell, you know, explaining to your girlfriend why your perfume is so unique. So we absolutely don't need to clean up the barn. You just have to know how to step out. And it's I find this a very good metaphor for awakening. So yes, those neural net connections are great, and it will be called meditation, but it's going to be a different type of peace. That peace is usually on the in duality, so it can swing. I feel good, I feel bad, I feel good, I feel bad. And awakening peace is in an angle from it, away from it, not in the swing. So if the swing goes this way and it stops in the middle, awakening is this way. For those of you, I don't know if the person asking the question read my book. That's the difference between a triangle and a tetrahedron. Geometrically, it's easy to see. So that's.
Sorry, there was just a question about that as well, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody asked about if you can explain more about space, the importance of space.
Space in what context?
The tetrahedron and the triangle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, it's a first geometrical form. It's the simplest one that has an inside and an outside. So it's a great representation. There's an inside and an outside.
Tetrahedron.
Tetrahedron, yeah. The triangle has structural integrity when you try to squeeze it, but it's flat. It doesn't represent inside and outside. Mm-hmm. And so there is some essential understandings that really are helpful towards awakening. And one of the essential understandings is that there is no up and down. I mean, up and down came from the medieval times when the earth was flat and the sun used to come up and go down. And we still use the same lingo. So the problem in using, and one might think, I don't care, I just use whatever language I want. There's a problem with using improper term, is that our language controls our attention. And language, along with our senses, tells me what I'm looking at and controls my attention. And my attention is the greatest asset that I have. Usually everyone knows it except us. Certainly advertisers know that it's a great asset. So there is a huge connection between senses, language, sentences, and attention. So if I use the language up and down, and then I can think of the chakras are up and down. The upper chakras are better than the lower ones. Up is better than going lower. It gives sort of a hierarchical way of looking at things. So it's there is really everything is always spinning. So there is really no up and down. It's in and out. That's it. We are either converging with the universe, which is this way, in, or diverging away from the universe. That's it. And the tetrahedron really is a nice visual representation that there is in and out. There isn't even a straight line in the universe, because as soon as I draw a straight line on a blackboard or whiteboard or whatever is in existence now, it's no longer straight. It's a curve. So the straightest road to awakening is a curve. It's not a straight line. So hence, it becomes important to understand the difference between a triangle, tetrahedron, and how it refers to, how it relates to awakening, how it relates to inner and outer, and understanding the simplicity of that, because we are not striving for any kind of complexity. We don't want to add to the already existing complexity. The only reason we have those concepts is because those concepts hopefully eliminate other concepts. So the best concepts are the concepts that eating or eliminating other concepts. Eventually, all the concepts in our head, everywhere in our, all the concepts that we have about the subject has to collapse. So a good concept is a cannibal concept which eats itself or eliminates many other concepts, dies and collapses. So certain concepts are, essential to understand. It makes it very easy to know that it matters where my attention is. But if the language I use is consistently making me diverge away from reality, which is that way, and never converge with the universe, with God, with love, then it's very, very hard to learn the exercises of using our free will and sharply going into the body. And we call that the free will or freed will. That means that I'm free to pay attention wherever I want to. There's no social acceptance for it. My neighbor is not going to come over and say, "Oh, isn't it nice? You're looking towards your body again." There's absolutely no acceptance or anything for it. So, but in spite of that, we freely choose to pivot our attention towards the body. So we can call that freed will. And of course, no matter how we call it, we're going to collapse the concept anyway, right? So any concept is okay, we're going to kill it. A self-killing, bunch of self-killing concepts.